sponsored by 101.9 Gator Country FM. My name is Victoria, and joining me here is Echo, and we are two of the reptile keepers here at the Naples Zoo. Now, I do know that this says it is an alligator feeding session, but we like to say it's more of an alligator training session. So what's going to be going on here today is I'm going to be back here talking about American alligators and some of the things that you'll be seeing out here. And you're going to see Echo get a whole lot closer and actually demonstrate a lot of the trained behaviors that we do out here. So, in Alligator Bay, we do have 13 American alligators. 7 of them are females and 6 of them are males. And they range in size from 7 feet all the way to our largest alligator, Big Red, who's located all the way to my right underneath these palms. Now, Big Red is 12 feet 5 inches and estimated at over 600 pounds. Now, not only is he our largest alligator and our oldest alligator, but he is also the dominant male here in Alligator Bay. American alligators do have a social hierarchy, so through observations, we do know that Big Red is that dominant male. Now, just like out in the wild, we do see other males in here trying to rival him for that top position. But like I said, through observations that we've taken out here, we still do believe that Big Red is in that top spot. Now, unlike other exhibits here at the Naples Zoo, we cannot simply just walk up to all of our animals and check on them. Alligator Bay is a very natural exhibit where there's a lot of different hiding spots that they can go in throughout the day that can make it quite difficult for us to really get good eyes on them. So having them want to come to the beach is a really great way to get that view. But you may notice that we have some latecomers or that not all will show up, and that is completely fine because everything we do out here is voluntary. Well, with that, you may be wondering, well, you just said that's how you get eyes on them, but we do perimeter checks throughout the day to make sure to at least get a glance at them because we do know a lot of where their special hiding spots are. So we do get a look at them throughout the day, some ways otherwise. Now, out here in Alligator Bay, there is a natural population of turtles, fishes, amphibians, birds, and small mammals that they are free to hunt as they please, and they definitely do so. So everything that you see us using out here today is just added to their diet as treats, just like you would when training your dog. So if not everybody gets called up here or gets worked with here today, that is completely fine because they do not rely on this food as their primary source. Now, as we do some different trained behaviors, you actually saw one completed trained behavior all at once. Now, that sounds pretty impressive, but what Echo is actually training them all to do was absolutely nothing. Now, that sounds pretty lame and boring, but that is very important for us out here on Alligator Bay because we wouldn't want potentially all of the alligators up onto the beach approaching us. So, rewarding them for doing nothing and staying in the water is a really great way to do things like Echo's doing here, working with one individual alligator. So that behavior of doing nothing is so important that sometimes we come out here and we just do that all together. And but we do know that that would be quite boring, so we do step it up from there. But you will see her toss certain individual pieces of food in the water for just staying there and not reacting to any movement. Now we can step it up from there, and all the alligators here in Alligator Bay do have a specific name, and they know their specific name. So what she just did there with Jaws is she called Jaws forward and asked her to hold. By asking her to hold, she then could walk side to side and get a really good view of their overall body. Because when you're looking at them in the water, it can be quite difficult to see all those individual details that you may be looking for that could really benefit their health. So she's currently doing that with Scar right here, one of our males. And by asking him to hold, she then can walk side to side and look at all those details. Then when she's done asking him to hold, she can reward him and ask him to go back into the water by tapping the ground gently beside his face to get him into the water where he is rewarded yet again. Now this is a behavior that all of the alligators do know, but when it comes to each of the alligators, they do all have specific training plans that are based on their age, mobility, and just what we are trying to accomplish medically out here in the bay. So for example, Firecracker, who just showed up pretty late, as you see her swimming, you may notice that she's actually missing her hind leg. And so we've designated a training plan special for her that really helps her mobility and still allows us to see all those details that we need to see. So she's actually getting worked with right here, so she has more of an up and open behavior so that we can still get her up on the land and still see all those individual details, but in a way that is most comfortable for her to get up on land. Now we do introduce something called target training, and those are these discs located right next to me, the different colored frisbees. And what we use those for is each of those colors is actually designated to a specific alligator. So what you can do is hold out that color, and that specific alligator will touch its nose to that target in order to get rewarded. Now we use target training in countless amount of ways. We use it to get one alligator from one point of the beach to point B of the beach, and we use it for countless amount of things to see their mobility, to provide them exercise, and again, to see all those individual details. So you can see this happening right here with Little Man. Little Man's designated to that blue target, so he knows when he sees his color to touch his nose to that target in order to get rewarded. So he was demonstrating a high walk, which is a type of mobility that they have, and we are able to get him moving to different locations. But everything out here is voluntary, we have to remember. So if Little Man decides to be a little bit stubborn, which he has been quite lately, that is completely fine, but we can move on to other alligators and continue working with them. So target training is even something that we use when it comes to weighing our alligators. Out here on Alligator Bay, what we occasionally do is bring out a scale that we can place right where Little Man is right now, and we can target them onto that scale. So for us, we're getting an accurate weight for the animal, which is very beneficial to their health, and for them, they're just doing their normal routine. So some of those weights that we've been able to accomplish out here with Scar, one of those males that you saw her call up earlier, he comes in at 423 pounds. We know that Brutus, our second largest male at 11 feet 3 inches, who's located kind of right behind this tree here, he comes in at 555 pounds. And then we have Little Girl, who's swimming off right there. She is 201 pounds. Now we've been able to do that just by showing them that target with that reward there. Now this is something we are continuing to work on. So not all of them have gotten weighed yet, but it is something we are continuing to do out here. And we are able to do all this training using something called positive reinforcement. And what that is basically what she's doing right here with Little Man, is when the alligators are doing what we ask, we definitely reward them with that food item. But if they decide to be a little bit stubborn, like Little Man here, we just continue working with other alligators, and we'll come back to Little Man here. Now, as Echo is moving around plenty of alligators all over, I do want to point out the very, very obvious that what she is doing is extremely dangerous. And something you will never see her do is just this out in the wild. Not only because here in the state of Florida, it is actually illegal to feed, harm, or harass an American alligator, but also because before even coming out here onto the beach, we do go through a lot of training, and that training consists of having to properly identify all of the American alligators out here, as well as know their individual training plans. So like I said, it does take a lot of time. But in the state of Florida, it is illegal to feed, harm, or harass an American alligator, and that is for a very good reason. As you see here, These animals are definitely not afraid to approach us, and that would happen right out in the wild. So who here has seen a wild American alligator in the state of Florida? By show of hands. Okay, a good majority of us. And it's definitely incredible to see these animals out in the wild. But let's say you saw that American alligator and you tossed it a piece of food. Well, what just happened there is, besides breaking the law, that alligator starts to associate humans with food and also loses its natural fear of humans. And that's when those dangerous situations really do come into place, because the next time it were to see a human, it would think that food is coming. So in the past, what used to happen, if an alligator was becoming a bit too friendly with people, an alligator trapper was called out and that animal was marked and then relocated. But something that they noticed is that they were relocating several alligators with several marks, indicating that it was either going back to its original location or continuing to be a problem alligator. So now, if there is a nuisance alligator due to somebody feeding them, they are permanently removed from the environment. Now that is something we definitely do not want to be the cause of, because we have been in the past. Back in the 1950s, the American alligator was hunted almost to extinction, as well as its habitat was ruined at an incredible rate. So much that they really needed the help of us and conservationists. So what happened was they were listed on the endangered species list, and they began to get that protection that they deserved, as well as their habitat became protected as well. And with being listed on the endangered species list, they were able to make a great recovery and thrive now out here in the wild, with here today having over 1.5 million wild American alligators. Now that is something definitely to be proud of. It's something that we want, because American alligators are what is considered a keystone species. Now what a keystone species is that other species actually rely on the American alligator for their own survival. Now you can see that happening right here in Alligator Bay. As you look around and maybe here, you can see we have a lot of nesting birds here in Alligator Bay, and they purposefully choose this location because of the American alligator. Now I know that does sound a little bit silly and a bit weird, considering that in the beginning I told you that they can eat the birds, but they are actually helping protect them from a far worse predator. Small mammals like raccoons can come in and completely destroy a bird rookery within just one night. So what happens is they see these American alligators waiting underneath those nests, and they get scared off to a completely different location. So they're really helping those juvenile birds reach adulthood and repopulate a lot of different bird species here in Florida. Now, hearing the success story of the American alligator is something that really makes me smile. And smile is something that we've created here at the Naples Zoo as a friendly reminder that you can do your part out in the ecosystem. And what SMILE stands for is to shop smart, M is to make a greater connection, I is I to make a difference, L is lifestyle choices, and E to educate others. Now here at Alligator Bay, we really like to focus on how I can make a difference, because just like we made a difference back in the American alligators' lives, we can continue to do that for our endangered species that we have today. Realizing to never give up, because just like the American alligators, they can come back and thrive out in the wild. And never forget to educate others into telling people never to feed wild American alligators. But with all that being said, we really do appreciate everybody coming out to the Naples Zoo, because by you coming here today, you are supporting endangered species in our conservation projects all over the world, so we really do appreciate that. And now I do want to open it up to any questions that you may have about our American alligators or the training or anything